everybody. Well, from the title of the video, you probably have some questions. So I'm just going to jump right into it. This may last 5 minutes, could be 10 minutes. I guess we'll see how it goes. So you're probably going to see this video, I'm assuming, on Thursday or Friday. It is now Tuesday. It is, I don't know, 8:30 in the evening, somewhere around there, 7:30, 8:30. Honestly, I've lost track of time. Matter of fact, I'll tell you, it's 8:36. I was at work today, as always, Monday through Friday. I work 10-hour days, and I received a phone call from my son, my stepson. He called to let me know. Well, first of all, he called. It was like 4 o'clock, right around that area. Called and said, "We have a major problem." I said, "Okay, well, what do you got going on?" And I can hear a bunch of commotion in the background. And he says, "I believe a pipe just burst in the house. The basement is flooded." Well, this room here is in the basement. As you guys know, if you've been following, I just built this room 3 weeks ago. It took me about 3 weeks to build it. New walls, new sheetrock, paint. I did not put a ceiling in yet. That was one thing I've been meaning to do and I have not done yet. And thankfully I didn't, and I'm going to explain why. So, okay, I said, all right, flooded. What do you mean flooded? He said, there's standing water, inches of water throughout the basement, and the floor is flooded upstairs. So I said, okay, start drying it. I'll be there. I left work, just jumped in the car, took off, and drove home. Let me back up real quick. What I forgot to mention was, as I'm on the phone with him, I hear someone yell in the background, someone left the sink running in the bathroom. So, wasn't a pipe burst. My children leave for school around 7:30 in the morning roughly, some before, some a little after that time. Somebody, after I left, I was the last adult to leave, they left. And my assumption is either one of the kids brushing their teeth, getting ready to walk out the door, left the faucet trickling, or one of our cats jumped up and hit the faucet, which is very possible. The way the handles sit on the faucet, if a cat jumped up there and walked behind the faucet, they could easily push one of the arms, to the on position. Now this wouldn't be typically a problem, as obviously the drain would drain the water, and basically we would just have running water for 10 hours. However, this drain needs to be redone, as in I need to cut the pipe out of the wall, run new piping, because when it was made really poorly, and it likes to clog. We've had Roto-Rooter come in, I've pulled the piping out, it doesn't drain well at all. So after, well, let's see, 7 hours of probably draining, I don't know how fast it was running, but obviously fast enough, it overfilled the sink, it filled up the floor in our bathroom upstairs, and began to come through the floor into the basement. Now, here's the issue. Think about this. It filled the sink, it got on the floor, and was able to come through the floor, a hardwood floor, into the basement and still have standing water. That's a lot of water. So when I walked in the house, the kids did an amazing job. They've been drying things up, but I get the message that the snake room is in real bad shape and the heater is in water. So of course, I'm freaking out. I come in the door and sure enough, there's standing water in here. The heater was turned off. No one unplugged it. Thankfully, I didn't want them to electrocute themselves. I do have 2 cords on the floor that are no longer going to be on the floor. That's the one going to the heater and the one going to the humidifier. Other than that, all the racks, everything, the cords are off the ground. They were not exposed to water. So the snake room does live. However, it was not that easy. Multiple hours of shop vac, drying the floors. The kids' room next door, the floor is soaked. A lot of their clothes and baskets are in their dressers ruined because they filled with water. Thankfully, the TV in their room is good, but some of their games sat underneath where it leaked on there. So we're currently drying some of their games, like their Xbox and Nintendo Switch, and hopefully those will be salvageable. Otherwise, I guess I'll be buying some new game units for everybody. But yeah, it's been a real trying day. I spent about 4 hours taking care of this. I did get everything cleaned up. I have a fan running behind me to kind of just help dry overall. Doesn't look like the walls have been damaged. I believe the bottom trim that I put on saved that. So I guess it's just a matter of time. But what I did say earlier is I didn't put a ceiling in here. And that's good, because if I had put a drop ceiling in here, or if I had put sheetrock up, the water would have pooled enough, and then eventually that sheetrock or that drop ceiling would have came crashing down like it did in the kids' room, and it would have landed on all the snake stuff and could have caused a lot of damages. So yeah, even though it seeped through the boards and dripped onto the floor, the biggest concern I have is there are 3 of our females, and the matter of fact, it's really weird. None of the tubs collected water, even though some of them are open. Water didn't get on them. It did get on a couple of the plywood that I have on top of the racks. But the water did make it into the lower 3 tubs on the 70/30, and those 3 animals were sitting in a couple inches of water. Now they're alive, they've been dried off. Obviously the tubs have been cleaned, disinfected. I put new liners in, set them in there. The heat still works, everything's good there. It's going to be a matter of time. We'll keep an eye on them. They are breeding females. Don't know if that's going to kill our chances for eggs this year with them, or if their health is going to be compromised. It's really just going to be keeping an eye on them. I don't know how long they've been in that water. Regardless, it'll be a couple hours. I'm assuming if they were out in the wild a couple hours and sitting in some water, it wouldn't kill them. It wasn't freezing cold water, I will say, mainly because this room is heated, but it's just something we have to keep an eye on. So our camera was in my camera bag sitting on the floor. The bag got wet, but as you can see, I'm using the camera, and I believe this is coming out clean. But yeah, sorry haters. I know you saw this and was thinking, yeah, he's gone. Not a chance. Not a chance. You know why? Because I came in here, my kids, Jamie and I, we kicked ass, we got it cleaned up, and we saved not only the snake room, but the house and everything else. Now future project's going to be cutting out that piping and repairing that sink properly. That way this doesn't happen again. Also making sure the kids know to make sure they shut the faucet off. So that's the biggest concern here, is why it happened. I wish I knew. I'm assuming a child did it, but I can't guarantee anything. Just oversight. Kids were in a hurry, whoever it was, I'm sure, and just shot out the door and didn't get the knob all the way off. But yeah, so that's it. Just wanted to update you guys. I try and keep you going with the good, the bad, the ugly, the whole 9 yards. And this was an ugly moment. This could have been a really ugly moment. But yeah, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to have myself an adult beverage and grab a little food and relax for the night. And we'll start tomorrow. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed just listening to me talk about the day. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or anything, comments, leave them below. It's kind of like the second part of the video. And as always, we appreciate your support. Thank you for hanging out with us. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and soon, hopefully soon, we will have eggs to talk about, then hatchlings, and progress. Have a great evening, everybody. I'm assuming actually I'll post this probably in the morning, so have a great day. And I'll talk to you guys later.